rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what's all this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long lost friend, gives every dark street a light at the end. On the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one, the only Jason Edwards! Hello and welcome to a special show called Laughter Time. I'm your host, Jay Edwards. We're live here, right here on the Fascinating Angels Radio Network, Spreaker.com. Yes, this is Laughter Time, and it's going to be a short show, but we've got some laughter. I've been thinking about this and been pondering it back and forth, and I just kind of did this on a whim. So I hope that you all enjoy it. I know that I do, and one of my things is I just love to make people laugh. I believe with all my heart and all my soul that if you're laughing at, if you're laughing, then you're not thinking about, some of the bad things that are going on in life or in the world or whatever. And so one of my things is I love making people laugh. I don't care if you're laughing at me for some goofy thing. I will go out of my way to be the goofiest person to make someone laugh, just to make you laugh. So that's what we're going to do today. This show is called Laughter Time. So we are going to we're going to read some jokes. There's some good, wholesome, clean jokes that we're going to read today. So I hope that you all will appreciate it, and I hope that you like it. And so here we go. Attending a wedding for the first time, a little girl whispered to her mother, "Why is the bride dressed in white?" "Because the white is the color of happiness, and today is the happiest day of her life." The child thought about this for a moment. Then she said, "So why is the groom wearing black?" Canned laughter, you gotta love it. So why is the groom wearing black? Okay, moving onward and upward. A man placed some flowers on the grave of his dearly departed mother and started back toward his car when his attention was diverted to another man kneeling at a grave. The man seemed to be praying with profound intensity and kept repeating, "Why did you have to die? Why did you have to die?" The first man approached him and said, "Sir, I don't wish to interfere with your private grief, but this demonstration of pain is more than I've ever seen before. For whom do you mourn so deeply? A child? A parent?" The mourner took a moment to collect himself, then he replied, "My first wife's husband." I didn't say they were the greatest, but I thought they were funny. In heaven there were two lines. One said men who were bossed by their wives. The other said men who weren't bossed by their wives. There was a big line for the first one, but then the man who was checking people's names in the book of life saw one man in the other line, so he told the other guys to wait. He asked the man, why was he in that line? The man replied, "My wife told me to be in this line." Ha ha, my wife told me to be in this line. Ha ha ha. The man asked his wife what she'd like for her birthday. "I'd love to be 6 again," she replied. On the morning of her birthday, her husband got up bright and early, and off they went to the local theme park. What a day! He put her on every ride in the park, the death slide, the screaming loop, the wall of fear, everything there was. Wow, what a day! 5 hours later, she staggered out of the theme park. He had her head reeling and her stomach upside down. Right to McDonald's they went, where her husband ordered her a Big Mac along with extra fries and a refreshing chocolate shake. Then it was off to a movie where her husband ordered oh man, there's nothing bad, there's nothing worse than when somebody messes a joke up. Oh, help me, Lord. Oh, Lord. Then it was off to a movie, the latest Star Wars epic, and hot dogs and popcorn, Pepsi-Cola and M&Ms. What a fabulous adventure. Finally, she wobbled home with her husband and collapsed into bed. He leaned over and lovingly said, "Well, dear, what was it like being 6 again?" One eye open, and the wife said, "I meant my dress size." The moral of this story is, if a woman speaks and a man is actually listening, he will still get it wrong. The woman decided to have her portrait painted. She told the artist, "Paint me with diamond rings, a diamond necklace, emerald bracelets, and ruby brooch, and a gold Rolex." "But you're not wearing any of those things," he replied. "I know," she said. "It's in case I should die before my husband. I'm sure he will remarry right away, and I want his new wife to go crazy looking for the jewelry." Thank you. I try. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying. Hallelujah. I'm trying. I just want you to smile. Hallelujah. A married couple, both 60 years old, were celebrating the 35th anniversary. During their party, a fairy appeared to congratulate them and grant them each one wish. The wife wanted to travel around the world. The fairy waved her wand, and pooh! The wife had tickets in her hand for a world cruise. Next, the fairy asked the husband what he wanted. He said, "I wish I had a wife 30 years younger than me." So the fairy picked up her wand, and pooh! The husband was 90 years old now. The child was a typical 4-year-old, cute, inquisitive, bright as a new penny. When she expressed difficulty in grasping the concept of marriage, her father decided to pull out his wedding photo album, thinking visual images would help. One page after another, he pointed out the bride arriving at the church, the entrance, the wedding ceremony, the reception, and etc. Do you now understand?" he asked. "I think so," she said. "Is that when Mommy came to work for us?" We'll be right back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love all the love and support that I get. Don't shoot me for trying to do something new. I really am trying to make y'all laugh and stuff. So don't shoot me if I'm doing a bad job. Once there was a millionaire who collected live alligators. He kept them in a pool in the back of his mansion. The millionaire also had a beautiful daughter who was single. One day he decides to throw a huge party, and during the party he announces, "My dear guests, I have a proposition to every man here. I will give $1 million or my daughter to the man who can swim across this pool full of alligators and emerge alive." As soon as he finished his last word, there was a sound of a large splash. This one guy in the pool swimming with all he could and screaming out of fear. The crowd cheered him on as he kept stroking and as though he was running for his life. Finally, he made it to the other side with only a torn shirt and some minor injury. The millionaire was impressed. He said, "My boy, that was incredible, fantastic. I didn't think that it could be done. Well, I must keep my end of the bargain. Do you want my daughter or the $1 million? The guy says, "Listen, I don't want your money, nor do I want your daughter. I want the person that pushed me into the water." A woman awoke during the night to find that her husband was not in bed. She put on her robe and went downstairs, and he was sitting at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee in front of him. He appeared to be in deep thought, just staring at the wall. She saw him wipe a tear from his eye and take a sip of his coffee. "What's the matter, dear? Why are you down here at this time of night?" she asked. "Do you remember 20 years ago when we were dating and you were only 16?" he asked. "Yes, I do," she replied. "Do you remember when your father caught us in the back seat of a car kissing?" "Yes, I remember." "Do you remember when he shoved that shotgun in my face and said, 'Either you marry my daughter or you spend 20 years in jail'?" "Yes, I do," she said. He wiped another tear from his cheek and said, "You know, I would have gotten out today." Through my life, ladies and gentlemen, I have done many things to make people laugh. I've done just about everything I could possibly think of and more to make someone laugh. I have a way of, I'm gonna try to say, imitating voices and coming up with goofy ways to make someone laugh. I have a 3-year-old and I love making her laugh, and so I'm always coming up with different voices and stuff to make her laugh. So I thought that this next joke I would read in one of the voices that I do. So again, don't shoot me, but I'm just trying to make you laugh. Are you ready? Because you're going to have to hold on, because this one's pretty far out there, okay? Me. A man has 6 children and is very proud of his achievement. He is so proud of himself that he starts calling his wife Mother of 6, in spite of her objections. One night they go to a party. The man decides that it's time to go home, and he wants to find out if his wife is ready to leave as well. He says to the top of his voice, "Shall we go home, Mother of 6?" His wife, irritated by her husband's lack of discretion, says back, "Anytime you're ready, Father of 4." I've always loved imitating voices. I always loved making people smile. I remember I was sitting at the hospital bench. It's been quite a few years ago. And the funny thing is that, I was sitting there and I was watching people. I'm a people watcher, not a stalker. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a people watcher. I just love watching people and looking at the difference of people and how they handle things differently and how they talk, and this and that. And I was thinking, I'm sitting outside this hospital and there's so many people just kind of walking out so depressed, because maybe somebody passed away or whatever. And I don't want to hear I don't want to see nobody in pain or nobody crying or nothing. And so if I can do something that'll brighten their day a little bit, then I will. And so I felt that the opportunity, and I was sitting probably at least 7 feet from the door, kind of behind this little deal. I was just sitting there, and the bench was kind of there, and there's this little tree thing, so you really couldn't see me. So I sat there, and every time somebody would walk out the door, I'd go, "Oh boy!" Just like that, as loud as I could. And people would stop and they'd look around. They never saw me, but they start to laugh. And they quit thinking about what they were really depressed about for just a split second. If I can just get you to quit thinking about what you're depressed about or what you're angry about, then I'm going to. I'm gonna reread that joke over again in my normal voice, but I had to do that because I just it really floors people, especially when I start talking in that voice. My daughter absolutely loves that voice. A man has 6 children and is very proud of his achievement. He's so proud of himself that he starts calling his wife Mother of 6 in spite of her objections. One night they go to a party. The man decides that it's time to go home, and he wants to find out if his wife is ready to leave as well. He shouts out to the top of his voice, "Shall we go home, Mother of 6?" His wife, irritated by her husband's lack of discretion, shouts back, "Anytime you're ready, Father of 4." trying to hear a cricket sounding. There we go. 10,000 comedians are out of a job, and I'm sitting here making jokes. Okay, here are the rules, and if you are a man, you need to listen up. The female may always makes the rules. That's number 1 rule. The female always makes the rule. Number 2, the rules are subject to change without notice. Number 3, no male can possibly know all the rules. Number 4, if the female suspects the male knows all the rules, she must immediately change some of the rules. Number 5, the female is never wrong. Number 6, if it appears the female is wrong, it is because of a large misunderstanding caused by something the male did or said wrong. Number 7, if Rule 6 applies, the male must apologize immediately for causing the misunderstanding. Number 8, the female can change her mind at any time. Number 9, the male must never change his mind without expressing written consent of the female. Number 10, the female has every right to be angry or upset at any time. Number 11, the male must remain calm at all times unless the female wants him to be angry or upset. Number 12, the female must under no circumstances let the male know whether she wants him to be angry or upset. Number 13, the male is expected to read the mind of the female at all times. Number 14, at all times, what is important is what the female meant, not what she said. Number 15, if the male doesn't abide by the rules, it's because he can't take the heat, lacks backbone, and is a wimp. Number 16, if the male at any time believes he is right, he must refer to rule number 5, which is the female is never wrong. Number 17, every house belongs to the oldest female living there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time I have for you right here on Laughter Time. Please forgive me and don't shoot me if I didn't make you laugh. I love you all. Stay tuned for the Jason Edwards Show. I love you. God bless.